Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Bible Study Minute. Today we're taking a look at Romans chapters 11 and 12. And what we see in Romans chapter 11 is Paul concluding his argument, really that he's built for the entirety of these 11 chapters, as well as concluding the discussion on Israel's rejection of Christ. And basically what he says is Israel's rejection was to the benefit of the Gentiles because it brought salvation to them. But at the same time, Gentile salvation is meant to make them jealous and to lead them to repentance. And that's really the ultimate end of what we see here. And God has not completely rejected or gotten rid of Israel, but he's using the circumstances that are taking place with the gospel going to the Gentiles to use it as a means to bring Israel to repentance and faith. And then he says, with everything that I've said in these 11 chapters, basically he sings a hymn of praise to God and talks about all these wonderful mercies. And then we get to chapter 12 and it's like, all right, so what? What do we do with all of these things that I've talked about for 11 chapters concerning the gospel? And really what we see happening here is that the response for us is to present our bodies as living sacrifices day by day unto God. And that is our spiritual worship. That is our true worship. That is our reasonable service unto God. And we do that by daily renewing our minds. And then he also goes on in the rest of the chapter to give a whole list of commands or things that we should be doing, like loving one another, loving each other deeply, living at peace with one another, and just so on and so forth. Just so many different things that we need to be doing as believers and how we can live our lives as living sacrifices unto God. And we can really sum it up in two ways. One, love God, and then two, love people or love others. And if we do those things, then we are living as living sacrifices unto God. So that's really the point that we are here. And it's like we've reached the transition in the letter where it's no longer about like doctrinal teaching, explaining the gospel, but it's now taking what we have in the gospel and what God has given us and showing us how to practically live it out in the day-to-day life. So that's kind of what the rest of the book of Romans is about, as we've seen in chapter 12 and where we're going to see in the following chapters. So that's the thought that I want to leave you with today. Until next time, grace and peace.